Good morning, I'm Colin Sandberg from the Endurance Collective, and this is day 4 at my attempt at a 30-hour training week. Yesterday ended well despite having some pretty poor numbers on the Whoop. I obviously think that data is valuable. If I didn't, I wouldn't pay $30 a month for the service, but I also think you have to take those numbers with a grain of salt. And the way I use it, I don't automatically change anything with my training because of a good or a bad score, but I might change my threshold for modifying a workout, if that makes sense. So for example, if I see the numbers aren't good, like yesterday, I might be a little bit more inclined to cut out an interval or to go a little easier on a workout or cut it short or something if I don't feel right. But I think really you have to listen to your body first. Today my scores were a little bit better, but not great. I had a 45% recovery score, HRV of 40, and a 59 resting heart rate. But today is just endurance. So although it's a long day, generally you can do endurance even when you are kind of tired. That may not be the case with a higher intensity workout. Yesterday was not as difficult as Tuesday, but I still finished the day with a strain score of 20.5 on my Whoop. That's out of a maximum of 21, and I burned 5,156 calories, again according to my Whoop. I feel like I did a good job of recovering in between workouts yesterday. I rehydrated, I ate a lot of food, and I took a nap, which I think was really key. And it made a difference because I ended up feeling pretty good for the group ride in the evening. Problem was, I did have trouble getting to sleep last night, and I definitely woke up feeling like I could still sleep for a couple hours. That is a problem a lot of people have when they do those evening workouts. You're still pretty amped up by the time you go to bed. I got home just before 8 p.m. I immediately got into the shower, then I put my daughter to bed. I ate a bunch of food, I relaxed for a little bit, and then I was in bed by 10 p.m., but I just could not get to sleep. My mind was racing, and also my wife was having trouble getting to sleep. In her case, it was because of allergies, actually. You know, I complain about the pollen, but she's got it much worse. She had opened a couple windows in our bedroom and bathroom to air out some chemical smells. And probably had the windows open for like 10 minutes. And because of that, she was congested and sneezing for a couple of hours afterwards. So you hear me complain about the allergies, but some people can't even open a window, let alone get outside this time of year, which I think is a real shame because the weather's been beautiful. Anyway, today is a big day. It is not high intensity, but I am riding a Century today, and it should take me about 5.5 hours if I average just over 18 miles per hour, which, given this isn't a really hilly route or anything, is what I expect. I'm doing a route that they use for the Bike Fest Century, which is a fundraiser for the Carolina Tar Wheels. It's usually held in October. It's a really nice route. Goes pretty far north, if you're familiar with the area, towards Yanceyville and Leesburg. So some really nice back roads that I don't normally get to ride on for my shorter rides. For me, I think it's really important to keep things interesting, ride on different roads and routes from time to time. And for some people, these long endurance rides are really boring, but I usually love them. I think it's, exploring a new area. It's sort of like meditation. You don't have to worry about doing intervals or anything. That said, I still am a bit concerned about my saddle sore. I know I'll get through this one way or another, but it'll be a lot more fun if that is not painful for the whole ride. The other thing I'm concerned with is I want to make sure I can make a couple stops to refill my bottles. During the actual Century in October, they have aid stations. Today, I'm going to have to find gas stations or at least some spigots in the back of churches or something to make sure I can stay hydrated. I'm going to bring all the food I need with me. My basic plan is to eat something, either a pack of chews or gel or a rice cake every 45 minutes. So I'm aiming for about 60 to 65 grams carbohydrate per hour if everything works out well. It's cloudy today. Temperature's pretty mild, mostly in the 60s, so really just about perfect riding weather. All right, let's see how it goes. Okay, I'm back from my ride. It actually ended up being 108 miles due to a slight error on my part. Um, but since my average was a little bit higher than I had planned, I still got back in just over 5.5 hours, so it ended up okay. I had a crosswind for the first, approximately the first third of the ride, then headwind for the second third, and then the last third was a tailwind. So I didn't plan that way, but it usually works out better if you have the tailwind at the end when you're tired. Although, as soon as I sort of made the turn into the tailwind, it started raining, and I was about 2/3 of the way in. That would have been really tough if it had continued. It's difficult for a number of reasons. Keeping warm is really challenging, even though it was only like 60 degrees. It's not super cold, but the rain just sucks the warmth out of your body. Your shoes get wet. Your chamois gets wet. You just lose motivation. I had an athlete ask me the other day, he was like, maybe you just, with time, toughen up and get used to riding in the rain. I've never found that. I've been doing this a long time. I still hate riding and racing in the rain. Maybe even more so now than I did 20 years ago. I did a decent job of fueling, I think, basically eating something every 45 minutes, like I had said. Probably not as good a job of hydrating. I only lost 1.8 pounds, which is not bad for a ride that long. But because it was like pretty comfortable temperatures, like I said, 60 and mostly cloudy and raining for a little bit, I just didn't drink as much as I planned. And I didn't stop until about 65 miles in. Only made one stop. My saddle sore was annoying, and I spent more time than usual out of the saddle. I also really slowed down my cadence, especially at the end, so I could keep my power up, and it was less pressure in the sensitive area. So Anyway, now I have the rest of the afternoon and evening to hopefully rest up a little bit. Tomorrow's an easier day, so hopefully I really have made it over the hump here. Of course, the next challenge is going to be there is rain in the forecast for Friday and Saturday, so that may not be a big deal for tomorrow for a shorter ride. I certainly don't mind doing 2 hours on Zwift. Saturday's going to be challenging, though, if that keeps up. But we will take it one day at a time.